this week's episode on how to create a client attraction system that works while you sleep. How wonderful does that sound? So my name is Supriya. I'm your holistic business and marketing coach and Ayurveda practitioner as well. And I'm here today to share with you this one thing that changed my life, many of my clients' lives, and it's so easy to do. As long as you see the value in it for you to also implement this in your business, especially if you're a solopreneur, struggling to manage your time and energy between client attraction and client service. It's a lot of work to do, isn't it? So a lot of struggling entrepreneurs actually get stuck in the roller coaster of, attracting new clients, enrolling them, onboarding them, and also then delivering, on their promise. And what I'd like for you today is for you to walk away clear about how to install a system that can actually work while you rest, so that all you really have to focus on is delivering and serving your client, which I know that's all you want to do, right? Now, I'll also be sharing a little bit about my 90-day bootcamp throughout this episode, because this is the program that is the container that I'm offering currently, where I want to support you to create your campaigns in a container of 12 weeks, where you'll get to actually see how to enroll a client in your sleep. Okay. So many business owners, they're feeling like they're constantly hustling. Like a lot of people I know, they're coaches and service providers, like teachers, trainers, therapists. Okay. And client attraction is like the bane of all their lives, because all they want to do is work with clients. But we all know there are no clients if you don't have an attraction system in place. So we're going to look at 3 things that you need to look at when you want to build such a system into your operations, so that things are taken off your plate, you can have a good night's rest, and you can choose your work hours on your own terms. So let's talk about why you need this system. When I was first starting out, I didn't have any systems. I've always been the organized type of person. So I have had a corporate job before, where I was second to the manager, and I had a lot of responsibilities of deliverables. So, I was already pretty good with managing tasks and, being responsible when it comes to deliverables. But I was never aware of systems that could use automations. And we're talking about back in the 90s. And back then, there wasn't so many things that we have now as far as tech provides. We didn't even have smartphones nor mobile phones that worked like we do now. So a lot of systems that we have now available, I didn't have back then. A lot of it had to be put into my calendar. Well, I used to use an actual written diary and Excel. And right now I use an amazing system in the back end to, help me with staying organized. So why we need systems is, number one, your brain is like, it's doing so many things throughout the day. Expecting it to remember to show up on time and do everything exactly the same as it's been done before is ridiculous. And it's just a recipe for burnout. So what do you want instead is the power of automation, right? Or the power of a system which lets you recognize what is really important, what must be done, what always gets done, and how to repeat that without you having to do it over and over again, which is what we call essentially automations. What does an automation look like? So an automation can look like, so you might listen to this podcast and there may be a link that I refer to. You go on that link and then you may have a free gift there. And in that free gift, you put in your email address, and straight away, you get the email sent to you with whatever it is that you wanted to download from that website. That is an automation, because I didn't have to sit in the back end, or you didn't have to wait for me to look at your request. It was just getting done instantaneously. So automations this is what you want to happen. Like, you want people to connect with your website. You want people to learn about your services, and you want that, process to happen without you having to do it every time. So what we help you do is we actually help you create this automation in the back end once, and then it just runs all the time while you sleep. And what that helps you achieve is you actually start building your mailing list, right? Mailing list of qualified people, because people that will be, inclined to download information from your website are people that are already looking for your services, right? Not just a random person just checking your stuff out. It's people that are already wanting your services. They're going to download whatever it is that you're offering on your website, and you have their email address, you have their name, and that is your lead. Now, you need a list of leads to promote your upcoming offers to, promote your, expertise to. If you're new, or even if you're a seasoned person in your field, nowadays, if you're not building your own list, you don't really have a business, because there's so much noise in the digital space that people are not going to pick up your message unless they already know of you and they have some sort of familiarity with you. You know what I'm saying? So Daniel Priestley is a really famous mentor right now in the Australian and UK market. And he says that throughout the day, we will only be noticing a few things, right? So suppose you're walking down a street, you're only going to notice the three things. One is what's familiar to you. So suppose you're walking down the footpath and there's a person on the other side and you know them, you're going to notice them over all the random people that walk around. Somehow, even if your mind is busy, you're going to notice that person that you know. Another thing that you're going to get attracted to or see or notice is something that's shocking. Shocking meaning maybe it's like some, don't you always notice dog poo? Or something that you don't like, say something that you're disgusted by. And one more thing that is going to grab your attention very quickly is something that's really sexy. Okay? So when you're marketing to your people, marketing is like similar, right? You want to be familiar. Now you can try to be sexy, you can try to be shocking, but really, is that really going to help you build trust with your people that you want to trust you to work with you? Probably not. You want to work with the principle of familiarity, and how we build familiarity is to show up consistently in front of those people that are now slowly starting to get to know you and become familiar with what you have to say about the thing that you're sharing with your marketplace. Getting this? Why does a system matter? Well, if you're going to be a familiar face to many people, not just a handful, then you're going to have to create an ecosystem of systems, automations, that will help you achieve that goal. Okay, so you're going to look at point number 2, which is steps to building your system. Strategies like creating a funnel that will help you attract someone that is curious about you to download your checklist, maybe daily routine, a checklist, and then you can send them weekly emails, okay, to educate them even more. And they say if you can be seen at least 12 times, then you're allowed to ask for, them to work with you or come to have a chat with you. So building a marketing funnel means that you're being genuine. You're really communicating clearly with those people that are curious about you, that are wanting to learn about themselves through you. So instead of asking for a sale, instead of pointing them to your website, give them some time to get to know how you talk about your thing. Give them some time to apply what you're talking to them with short tips, micro tips here and there. Okay, an example of this is when I was promoting my health coaching program back when it was 2020, it was COVID lockdowns. I pivoted everything online, and that's when my health coaching program came up, and I put out podcasts and talks, and then I would direct people to a downloadable 3-day digestive reset. They would do that, and then they would get a few more emails about how to use it, how to think about it, and what to do next. I also included another email about what sort of things that they can modify in that reset so that they didn't feel like it's too much or too little. Getting this? Now that is a system, and that is also a funnel which walks the person from being a complete stranger to trying something that gives them an immediate result, and also communicates to them how much support I can give them without even asking for a penny from them. Okay, all they had to do was come into my environment, and they kept saying yes, 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 to then I can ask them like, look, and I did, I set up a system where a funnel where I then, the next email was, hey, so by now you would have done this, this, this. Would you like to book in a clarity call to see if the health coaching program could be a match for you? Okay. And that was a funnel. Now, once they came on that call, that's when we did a clarity call to see if they are a good match for me and if I am a good match for them. Or not me, but my program was a good match for them. So that becomes a marketing funnel to a sales system. For me, that was a 90% conversion rate. That's how I preferred to do it. But there are many others that do it in other ways. It's just not one way. There's not just one system. But I love to get to know my clients. That's my nature. I like to actually build rapport. I'd like to connect with them. But then I have had clients who have chosen a different sales method, right? Like they run a group webinar, which I do now for my business coaching as well. But for health coaching, I've seen people do group information sessions, and that's where they communicate the value. That's where they take questions, and then they convert people into customers from that sort of group information sessions. So there's an aligned sales system and marketing funnel for each of you listening in. And we help you align that to you, your temperament, your values, your program, and also your price. Okay, the higher your price means the higher certainty you are providing to your clients, and you can build a system according to that. So if you're selling a program under $1,000, it's okay to do a group webinar and then point them to a landing page where you give them more information like a sales page, and then they can make a decision there. If it's over $1,000, you would want to have some sort of a helpline or a Q&A, and contact with you. And if it's over $3,000, you would definitely do what I was doing, which is a clarity call to really see whether they are the right match for you or not. Because the higher the money, right, the higher the results, the higher the quality, and also the client needs, right? So there's an aligned system for everyone, but there has to be a system in place. So the strategy, you can actually align it to you so it doesn't feel awkward, it doesn't feel clunky. It's a smooth client journey that is from being a curious person to becoming your client using the system that you've installed, and that will help you enroll more clients with ease. Are you looking at this? Are you seeing how easy it can be for you? Okay, but without a plan, like those who fail to plan to fail. You've heard that saying before, right? So last one is you've got to be authentic. Maintain authenticity. When you're creating systems, you might think, oh, I'll just use what Supriya uses. I made that mistake too. I tried to copy and paste my mentor's method. Well, it didn't suit my temperament, and I didn't have that experience, or I wasn't proposing such a value to my clients back then, so I couldn't copy and paste their funnel and system. Okay, so that's what we also bring to you as a unique feature of working with us. Is I have been in this for a long time. I always point people to align things to them so that they can remain authentic, because if you're not being authentic, what tends to happen is your automations don't sound like you, the cadence is not like you to work with you, and then people are not dumb, right? People that are wanting to work on themselves, they're very intelligent, by the way. You would know this, right? You are one such person, or you were one such person when you were looking for your mentors and your personal development gurus. You are skeptical about you succeeding, okay? And you're looking for someone authentic and someone that really gives a damn about you and your success. So it's really important that you set up your systems and communications that really speak, act, walk, talk, smell, sound like you. So when automating your marketing, it doesn't sound like they're talking to a robot. You can, if you copy, big brands like Myers or, JB Hi-Fi, or whoever the big brands are, I'm just mentioning any name. But because they're big brands, they cannot be copied. The reason is you are not a big brand. You are a small boutique brand, and your personal touch needs to be there. That's what we mean by authenticity. An example of this in mine is I got clear about my brand identity first, right? Now, that sounds like a very snazzy term, doesn't it? Like, I was very fazed by it at the beginning. I thought, oh my God, brand identity, so I have to work with a brand manager. Not really. So once I learned sales and marketing, that's how I learned how to shape my brand identity. Most of you are doing it quite naturally. What I want you to do is learn how to systemize that so that you don't have to show up every time. That's what we can help you do in the 90-day bootcamp. It's one of the fundamentals. So we're going to launch it very soon. I'm looking for 30 founding members and 30 founding members that are really keen to do this thing and learn how to enroll clients naturally, authentically, and do it in their sleep as well. Because as solopreneurs, your biggest desire and goal is to serve more clients, right? And let's not pretend that that's not a necessity. It means you need systems. It means you need a client attraction system that works while you sleep, meaning even if you're not sleeping, at least you could have a day off, or at least you could be doing other things that take more time while this works in the background for you to help people when they need you in your absence. So if you're keen, check out the link in the description and join that waitlist, and I'd love to see you in there. I hope this episode added value to you, and let me know as a review. If you haven't left a review or comments, please do so. Share this with someone you know that might benefit from it, and also like, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and please join as a follower on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We've got a big community on Spotify, so thank you very, very much for joining us today, and I look forward to sharing more with you next week. Bye for now.